What's going on, guys? Multiverse Crypt here with yet another action figure review video, and today we're having a look at the Ultimate Warrior Predator from Neca Toys. Starting off this video, guys, we are taking a look at the Neca Toys packaging, and it does have this image of the Warrior Predator standing in the front with Predator 2 down here at the bottom, as well as Ultimate Warrior Predator. Flipping it over here to the side, guys, it does say Predator 2, and then over here on the back is this read-up. Go ahead and pause the screen. There's a picture for you guys to read right now. And then moving on down here, guys, we do see some product images of the Warrior Predator, and he just looks absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get this guy out of the packaging. Flipping over to the side, guys, it does say Predator 2 and the 30th anniversary, and then nothing really going on the top other than Predator 2 again. And then down here at the bottom is the barcode for you barcode guys. Back here on the front, it does have this little Velcroed shut door to where you can have this open face window showing the Warrior Predator, as well as all of his accessories, and this nice product image of him holding his flail ready to do some damage. With all that said though, guys, let's go ahead and rip the Warrior Predator out of the packaging and take a closer look. Warrior Predator. A student of ancient Yautja fighting traditions, Warrior is one of the few elite hunters forged in fire by the Blood Ring, a combative fighting sport created ages ago when the Amingi invaders forced the Yautja ancestors to fight one another in a Colosseum-style battle. As was the case hundreds of generations before, the use of energy weapons in the sport is not permitted. However, mastery of melee weapons is essential to survive. In modern times, this combat tradition continues as a measure of strength and skill, pitting the strongest Yautja fighters against vicious alien creatures, often xenomorphs, fighting to the death. Despite his elite status, Warrior continues to revisit the Blood Ring, when not on hunts to keep his skills sharp. Celebrated for his victories, he is considered by many to be the toughest among all hunters. One of the eldest members of the Lost Tribe, Warrior is the trusted right hand of Greyback and is the weapons master for off-world missions, in addition to acting as an effective plan B for taking down the most dangerous target whenever necessary. Some hunters use a self-destruct device as a last resort, but the Lost Tribe calls Warrior. So right here, guys, is the Warrior Predator out of the packaging, and from my first-hand impressions, I will say that he is absolutely fantastic. Neca Toys did an amazing job on this guy. There is very little to complain about. I think he is absolutely phenomenal. With all that said, though, guys, let's go ahead and take him off of the rotating turntable and take a closer look at the accessories that he came with. When it comes to the accessories, guys, Warrior Predator does, of course, come with an arsenal here. Starting off here, we're going to be looking at his flail, and his flail is just absolutely amazing to look at. It has beautiful detail, it has beautiful paint, and to top it all off, it has a bendy wire on the inside. You can do all kinds of poses with this thing and make him hold it onto it, and it be doing its own thing in the background. Moving on over, guys, we do, of course, see that he comes with a closed combi stick, which is one of the iconic weapons for the Predator species, the Yautja, if you will. Unfortunately, on the Warrior Predator, bringing him in here, he doesn't come with any clips, which I've seen from videos from, like, the review spot. They're supposed to have clips that plug into like holes on his back right here, or even the holes down here on his ankles. But there are no clips for the Warrior Predator, unfortunately. So this is just either gonna have to go in a little baggie or in his hand. Speaking of the combi stick, still staying on that subject, let's go ahead and move down here. Here's the same combi stick, but now it is open. And it is also beautifully detailed and beautifully painted. It looks amazing and it feels okay. Just be very careful. It is a thin plastic. It is still a beautiful piece of work. Going on underneath it, guys, is, of course, his battle axe, his iconic weapon for the Warrior Predator. He's just kind of showing in all of his product images holding on to this. And this sucker is fantastic. Beautiful paint, beautiful detail, shown all the love and respect that it deserved from the tip to the tip. It is absolutely amazing. One thing I really do respect Neca Toys for doing is keeping the weaponry separate for each and every predator. They're not just giving us the same bit of weaponry for each predator. Going over here now, guys, we do see that we have a plasma effect, if you will, for his plasma caster, and it does plug in the back, and it is beautifully painted. I do like that blue. But if we get the predator's body out here and we look at the plasma caster and plug it in, then it just kind of gives it the plasma caster firing off, giving it the full effect of the predator hunters, and it looks freaking fantastic. I really do enjoy the plasma casters on this guy. Going over here next to it, guys, he does of course come with a skull attached to a spine, and this is just freaking disgusting. I really do love the classic spine rip for the predators, and he didn't just come with this one. Now forgive me, I ripped this guy open the day I got him before the video. I know, shame on me, but he did come with two skulls, the skull and the spine. And like I said, I got ahead of myself. I thought it would be cool if I glued the other spine to the alpha predator spike back here to kind of show that he's been on hunts too. So this is the other skull that came with it, and if you don't really have a use for it like I didn't, then it just has a little hole underneath it, and I just glued it into the spike. Just a little something different for my alpha predator that we have seen before. Going over here now, guys, we do have the alternate head sculpts, and we do have, of course, the masked and the unmasked, and they both were equally given the same amount of love. I'm leaning towards displaying him with the mask on. I most likely will keep all of the masks on for my predators unless the mask just plugs onto the face, and then I will showcase the face underneath. But just having him doing a constant roar / clicking sound, I don't know, it just kind of doesn't really do anything for me, but I do love this face. Don't get me wrong. They did a fantastic job on the unmasked head. Just a little purple mouth, the white teeth, and then just the blue skin overall. Going on down here now, guys, I have two smart discs that come with this guy. We got the closed version, which is good for throwing, and the open version, which is good for close quarters combat. And both are done beautifully. Flipping it over to the other side, guys, they really spared no expense, and they are showcasing all of the technology that is coursing through these smart discs, and it is just freaking amazing. Last but not least, he does of course come with interchangeable hands, and starting off before we get into these, I left them plugged in, but he comes with the iconic open hand for the predators. He comes with this little grasping hand, which is good for holding the smart disc like you're about to throw it. He comes with this hand, which is a grasping hand for like the flail and or the combi sticks or whatever else you need him to hold. And then of course, last but not least, is this slightly like relaxed hand. And that is because if you line these fingers up with the smart disc like so, you will be able to get him to hold on to it just like that. And that looks freaking awesome. Something small, but it goes a long way for me. With all that said though, guys, let's go ahead and move away from the accessories and take a closer look at the detail. In terms of detail, guys, we're going to kind of skip over the head sculpt because we kind of already just looked at that with the accessories. Just do a little brush up over it. I do like the paint, the little battle damage going on over here on the side, the scuffs and like scratches of paint looks absolutely amazing. And then flipping them over here to the back, we do see that the dreads are back here. His little sensors, if you will, are movable, and he does of course have the metal rings tucked all throughout his hair. Staying right here on the back side, guys, we do see that he comes with his little medical kit as well as his plasma caster, which is movable. We'll take a little closer look at that in the articulation, but it does slide back and forth on this little track here, so that way you show that he's not a threat, and then you are a threat. Looks absolutely amazing. Going down to the rest of his torso, guys, they do of course have the netting all throughout the body, and they do of course have this armor plating all throughout him, from the shoulder pads wrapped all the way around to just his entire back being covered. Don't want nobody sneaking up on you and stabbing you in the back, so good choice on his part. Going down here to his gauntlets now, guys, we do see that he comes with the infamous wrist blades, which I have seen some that like have it on a track that you can move, but mine unfortunately do not move. Well, they do. Oh, of course, now they do when I start talking about it. So they are on a track and they move back and forth. And then going over here to the other wrist guard, guys, he does, of course, come with the self-destruct bomb, which, coming from his read-up, just seems a little out of character for the Warrior Predator and for it to even be activated. He's counting down, so maybe he lost. But maybe that was just for our benefit. Now, this piece right here, guys, this piece right here does come off. I honestly have no idea what this is. This comes off and it comes with a second piece. So unless this is some sort of wrist cannon, I don't know. Like I haven't seen the movies in a while, and obviously can't really go off the new movie Prey, but like I don't know what this is from. I don't recognize this at all. So unless this is just some sort of an arm cannon, then that's pretty cool. But if this is just some other type of device, let me know down in the comments if you know what this is. I'm not 100% on this one. We'll take that off. We'll just leave it off. Just leave it blank. Hopefully that don't bother you guys too much. Going down here to the waist now, guys, he does, of course, come with this, like, loincloth type looking thing. But don't worry, you don't run the risk of flashing yourself. He is covered. He's fine. Don't worry. But it is movable. It's on a little thin wire, so I would be careful not to break it. Going over here now, guys, we do see this empty spot here. And does that look familiar? Why, yes, it does. This right here is where the smart disc plugs in. It just slides right up inside this little pouch here. And it just sticks right there, and you don't have to worry about it falling out or anything like that. To me, that is just an amazing design from Neca Toys to actually have the smart discs be removable and plugged back in there instead of just having one permanently sculpted into his thigh. Going down to the rest of the legs now, guys, he does, of course, come with these little shin guards here, which are painted and detailed beautifully. They look absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, last but not least, he has his little web toes. And down here, there's really no design or any detail within his feet, except, of course, on the top. Now that's a big gripe for me. He stands up just fine, and he looks amazing. With all that said, though, guys, let's go ahead and move away from the detail, zoom out, and take a closer look at the Predator's size and articulation and size comparison. When it comes to how tall the Predator figure stands, guys, the Warrior Predator does stand at about the 8 inches, almost 8 1/4 it looks like here. So he is a decent size figure, and especially like compared to your McFarlanes or even your Marvel Legends, he would be an okay size. It's all really up to you based on how you want your imagination station to work. Now going on into his articulation, guys, let's go ahead and bring him in closer to the camera. When it comes to his head articulation, the Warrior Predator can look up about that far. He can look down all the way, and his head does rotate all the way around, thanks to that little peg that's in there. When it comes to his arm articulation, guys, his arms do go out about that far. He does, of course, have a bicep swivel that does rotate all the way around as well, with double hinged elbows, and even his wrists have articulation that rotate all the way around, and then of course his hands do as well. Going over here to his ab articulation, guys, he doesn't really possess an ab crunch. There's a little something there. Let's see if I can get it to go just a little bit. Just a little bit there. Kind of gives him a hunchback type look, but he does articulate forward, and he does, of course, articulate back. When it comes to his waist articulation does swivel all the way around. His legs kick forward about that far. They kick back about that far. His legs also do spread apart about that far. Probably could go a little bit further, but I'm not going to risk it. He does, of course, have double hinged knees. His ankles articulate down and they articulate up. No toe articulation, and he does have ankle pivot. Starting off this size comparison, guys, here we have the Warrior Predator next to the Alpha Predator. Giving him a little bit of a buddy here, and they do scale together quite nicely. Even with the Alpha Predator being slightly taller than Warrior, I feel like it works because he is the Alpha. He is this monster that's and made into this massive beast, so it works just fine for me. Right here, guys, we have the Warrior Predator next to the PS4 Spider-Man from Diamond Select Toys, and this also is okay with me. With Spider-Man being a 7-inch figure, I feel like compared to the Warrior, he looks just fine when it comes to humans next to the Yautja. Right here, guys, we have the Warrior Predator next to Black Adam from McFarlane Toys, and these also scale together nicely. And last but not least, guys, here we have Johnny Storm, the Human Torch from the Fantastic Four, made by Marvel Legends next to the Warrior Predator. And like I said, with Marvel Legends, they're just really small, but being that this is a monster figure, the Predators are technically monsters, so if you want them to be towering over his victim, this could work. Alrighty, guys, and there you have it. Another action figure review video in the books on my channel for you guys to enjoy. When it comes to my Neca Toys Warrior Predator, I'm going to have to give him a solid 10 out of 10. When it comes to the accessories, he's got them. The detail, he's got it. The paint, mwah, it's all beautiful. I love everything about this figure. I will say maybe a different blue. I don't know what it is. It's just kind of really gives me Avatar vibes. So maybe a different shade of blue would have been a little bit better, but I'm still sticking to the 10 out of 10. With all that said though, guys, happy new year. We have made it to 2023. So much more coming to this channel. And if I hadn't said it already, I apologize for my voice in this video. I'm just getting over being sick, so my throat is a little scratched up. With all that said though, guys, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to leave me a comment down in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. Later.